talk about how to dominate your marketplace, even if you don't have a lot of money, even if you don't have a lot of listings. I know people say it takes money to make money, but I'm going to show you how that's not true, because when I started in real estate, I had no money, I had no experience, I'd never sold anything in my life before. And as you know, I became the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world within 36 months of having my license. So we're going to talk about how I did that, but most importantly, we're going to talk about how you can do this, right? So how do these top agents in your marketplace do this? You see them, you know they exist. You may be struggling right now. You may look at them with envy. You may wonder how the heck they're doing it. Well, we're going to let you into this secret world of top producers. I'm going to show you exactly how they do it. There's a formula, and if you understand and you follow this formula, you will be successful. In other words, by the time we're done here today, it won't be anything that you don't understand. You're going to know exactly how this works. First of all, start by checking in. Let me know what marketplace you're in, the city that you serve, because we are getting a ton of referrals inside of Craig Proctor Nation. People that watch these are looking for other agents in other parts of the country to refer business to, because they want to refer their buyer or seller to a good agent. So don't be shy about this. Remember, the #1 battle that real estate agents fight is obscurity. So in the comments below, let us know the city, the state that you operate in. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we become a top producer? How do we dominate the marketplace? And really what this is about is for those of you that are really serious about dominating the marketplace, not doing a little bit better, but actually dominating neighborhoods and entire cities. The #1 piece of advice I want to give you is stop doing what everyone else is doing. In fact, I had my daughter write some of these down today just as a visual. Stop doing what everyone else is doing. If you keep doing what everyone else is doing, you're going to get the exact same results. Whatever you're doing right now, like you have a routine, right? When you wake up in the morning, there's stuff that you do, things that you think you need to do, and your business routine is responsible for your results. So realtors come to me, and they have for 30 years, wanting to know, how can I do better? Well, it's not by doing what you're doing, right? Your results are dictated by your routine. If you want to change your results, you've got to change what you do. Now, to change what you do, we have to back up the bus. You actually have to change how you think about real estate. You see, if you were to work with me, the things that you're doing right now would become unacceptable ideas. Would you guys agree? Let me know if this is making sense. Smash the like button. Maybe give me a little heart if this is making sense. Give me a thumbs up on this, because your way of thinking about this, like all the stuff that you've learned, the way you see other real estate agents behave, it impacts you, right? You believe this is the way to do things. The top agents that I work with, they're not calling people on the phone. They're not chasing prospects. They're using attraction. It sounds pretty simple, right? But they're offering something the buyers and sellers really, really want. And what they're offering, the buyers and sellers can't get it anywhere else. Now, does that make sense? We'll talk about how to do this, but just in principle, does that make sense? If you had something the buyers and sellers really wanted that they couldn't find on their own, right, and it wasn't being offered by any other agents, you can see how that would give you an advantage. It would give you a leg up. So this is what I teach real estate agents to do. So you've got to start with a good offer. What do I mean by a good offer? I'm not talking about like an offer, purchase, and sale. The offer is the words that come out of your mouth, right, and the words that are in your advertising. We're going to play a little game here. Let's pretend that I was a buyer and I was coming into your town, okay? And maybe I even had a friend that was a real estate agent in your town. And I said to you, hey, I'm looking to buy a house here in your town. What would you say to me to cause me to favor you versus the friend I have or any other real estate agent in town? Here's what most agents would say to buyers. They would say things like, I can get you access to the homes that are online, which as a buyer, I can do that myself. The agent might say to the buyer, I'm going to represent your best interest. And the truth is, that's not important to buyers. Here's what buyers think. I don't really believe the salesperson is going to represent my best interest. Now, let's forget about whether that's true or not. I'm just saying this is what the buyers believe. They, like when you go into a car dealership, do you believe that the car salesperson has your best interest? Now, I know a lot of you are like, well, don't compare us to car salespeople. But if you behave as a salesperson, you will be treated as a salesperson. What other things are we taught to say? Well, I'm a great negotiator. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, if you work with me, I'm going to represent your best interest. I'm a hardworking agent. I've lived here for 17 years. I really know the area. I'm a great negotiator. Here's what the buyers think. Many of the buyers think, well, now that I can go on the internet and I can find all the properties myself, in other words, I don't need a real estate agent to find the properties, they believe they can better negotiate without you. They're like, well, I know now who has the house listed. I can go around you, go directly to the listing agent, and I can save more money without using you. So this is the battle that we fight. And I want to show you how to fix this, okay? What if we start offering things that only you offer? So we know that a lot of the inventory that's online is picked over and it's overpriced. And obviously, if buyers are responding to your advertising, it's because they haven't found a house. So what if you offered access to off-market, unlisted, and pre-market properties? Okay, this is something that you don't even know how to do this, right? Let alone the buyer. Now, I can teach you how to do this, but let's assume that I know how to do this and I can teach you how to do this. Let me know, smash the thumbs up if this is making sense. Okay, give me a like if this is making sense, that you're offering buyers something that they really, really want, which is access to unlisted and off-market properties. They can't get that on their own. They don't know how to find those properties on their own. And it's not something that the other real estate agents are offering. So if you make offers the buyers really, really want, what happens is they'll want to do business with you. All of a sudden, they'll be chasing you. So we can run this offer, okay? So the offer might sound like this. We might run an ad on Facebook Marketplace, which will cost you $0. Remember, our topic here is how to dominate your market, even if you don't have a big budget, even if you don't have a lot of listings. Like, how can you do this? So with Facebook Marketplace, which is sort of like the new big classified section, we like it, right? Because it gives us the prospects real information, right? Their real phone number, etc. Because this is the information the prospect used to set up their Facebook account. So to run this ad, you're going to need a picture of a house. So Facebook Marketplace won't let you run what I'm about to say without a picture of a house. It could be a picture of your listing, one of your listings, or you borrow a listing from another agent in your office. So you've got a picture of a house, but we're not running this ad on Facebook Marketplace because we're advertising a house. You do not really want to advertise a house, which I'll get into in a minute, because you're like, well, why would I not want to advertise my listing? Because this is better. Okay, what I'm about to explain to you is a universal offer. This is something that all buyers are going to want, because what you're offering here is you're offering a service, which everyone wants, versus advertising a house. Let me talk about this advertising a house thing. I know that's what you were taught, right? When you got into real estate, you were taught to advertise two things. One thing that you were told to advertise is yourself, right? So, you do this pretty boy advertising, and I was with Remax, so it's me and the Remax balloon. And, if you've got a dog, it's a picture of you and your dog, or I'm number one, or I work hard, or if it's a husband and wife, maybe you've got some cutesy slogan, spouses selling houses. This is the nonsense that we're taught. So we believe that marketing doesn't work. Like when I first start working with realtors, they see marketing as an expense, because every time they've tried using this dumb kind of advertising, it's true, it just cost them a lot of money and they didn't make any money. But with Facebook Marketplace, you can run up to 150 of these ads for $0 every day. 150 ads you can run every day. So there's no downside to this. You will not be losing money. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to run ads that say things like this. Are you tired of looking at overpriced, picked over listings online? Would you like access, free access to unlisted and off-market properties? Or do you know that some of the best homes here in our town, fill in the blank, whatever your town is, are sold before they make it to the open market? Would you like to get access to unlisted, off-market, and pre-market properties? Can you see now you're making an offer that buyers like? You can say this to the buyers. You can say, you literally would be the only buyer that would know about these properties. So when they respond to your ad, they might say, well, can you send me a link, or can you send me pictures of the property? Which is great, because you can say, well, I'm sorry, there is no link to send you. Right? There's no link to send you. There's no pictures to send you. This is a service that we offer where we're going to go into the area of town that you like. So tell us the neighborhood you're interested in. And then we're going to use our special target marketing. And we're going to go into the neighborhood and market directly to home sellers that have not quite listed their home for sale. Okay, so they're not listed. Now be careful here, because I know some of you are about to say, well, we can't do this. This would be a pocket listing. You're hiding this from the MLS. Stay with me. This is not true. We are not listing the property. If you ran these ads that I'm suggesting for $0 on Facebook Marketplace, and you got buyers coming to you that said, yeah, I mean, I can't find anything on the market that I like, which is true, right? That's why they're still shopping. They haven't found a house. I do agree that it seems like everything's picked over on MLS, seems like it's overpriced. But Craig, if you could get me access to unlisted and off-market properties or pre-market properties, yes, I'd be interested. This is how it works. Simply tell me what you're looking for, and we're going to go find it. It's a free service. So I take that buyer's criteria, and we teach you how to go into that neighborhood and find sellers that are interested in selling. Now, why would the seller want to do this? Well, it's convenient for the seller, right? If you received a message, you were thinking of selling your home, that you could sell it instantly and you could sell it for top dollar, and you didn't have to go through all the hoopla of listing your house and open houses, and you know what it's like, getting kicked out for every showing, and you've got to gather your kids and your dog and sit in the car, and then the buyer doesn't show up. It's a drag. So what we're offering sellers, it's almost like the Uber Eats to getting your home sold. Now, we know this is a thing because there's all kinds of iBuyer companies out there where, you know, a seller can go to a website and they can type in their address and get an instant cash offer. So when you find sellers using these techniques that are interested in selling, you're going to go look at their house, make sure it's the right house for your buyer, and you're going to have a conversation about price, make sure the seller's realistic with price, and you're going to get a commission agreement signed. Important, not a listing agreement. You're going to get a commission agreement signed. This would be the same agreement that you would get signed if you were representing a buyer and they bought it for sale by owner, right? You're not representing the seller, they're FSBO. You're just getting a commission agreement that the FSBO is going to pay you for introducing the buyer. It's the same thing here. Okay, so we teach you how to do all of this. Now you have an offer that people really, really want. The seller likes this as well because it's convenient. They don't have to list their home and go through weeks or months on the market. And some of the sellers will say to you, well, if I sell my home to your buyer, where would I go? What you're going to say is, you know that marketing we sent you? We could do that for you. You tell us what neighborhood you're interested in, and we'll go find you an unlisted, off-market, pre-market property that matches your criteria. So this is one example of a really good offer that I would teach you how to do this, because you're going to have questions, right? Well, what do I say when the sellers who respond to the marketing, when they call me and they say, well, is this a real thing or some kind of trick to get my listing? How do we answer all the questions that buyers and sellers have? What marketing do we use is going to be the question. Like, okay, this sounds good in principle, but how do I do it? I know what the buyer's looking for. The buyer is interested in this neighborhood. How do I specifically go out there and use this target marketing? This is what we coach you up on. Okay, now that is an example of one offer to get buyers. Now understand, one of the issues that you guys have, and I was talking to one of my top clients in Rhode Island. His name is Nathan Clark. He's, he sells like 400 or 500 homes a year. He's been my client for like 20 years. And Nathan Clark out in Rhode Island says the problem we have right now is we have people that want to sell, homeowners that want to sell and move. Their problem is they can't find another house. Okay, so how many of you have that problem where there's just a lack of inventory? So you've got people that would sell, they would list their home, but they're not going to do that until they find another property. This is why this formula works, because we're able to get our clients priority access to homes that nobody else knows about. The buyers love this, right? The seller tells you what they're looking for. You, or the buyer in this case, tells you what they're looking for. But when you find them a home, guess what? You've got their listing. They wouldn't list their home today, even if you brought them an offer for $20,000 or $50,000 over what their home is worth. These sellers are not going to sell their home until they find another property. So if you want to get listings, the easiest way for you to get listings is to market to the seller first as a buyer, right? Every seller is a buyer before they list their home for sale. So this is how we're going to get listings. We're going to get the person that owns a home and wants to move, who cannot find a publicly available home on the internet. We're going to show them how we're going to roll up our sleeves. We're going to go into those neighborhoods and we're going to find them homeowners that are interested in selling. We're not listing the house, right? We're not hiding listings. This isn't a pocket listing. You will double end this property. You'll get whatever commission you want to charge for that. It's a convenience fee, really, for the seller. Plus, your buyer now has found a property and they're ready to list their home. How much money would you make? Okay, these are very simple strategies. Now, let's switch gears and talk about another way to get sellers. I see a lot of you, and by the way, if you like this guy, smash the like button. Let me know in the comments if this is making sense. You see, I'm giving you guys a presentation right now, and it's a pretty good presentation, isn't it? This presentation cost me $0. This, because I'm on Facebook, right? And this will be repurposed and this will be on YouTube and LinkedIn and everywhere else. But this is costing me $0. I want to teach you folks how to do this. Not only is this costing me $0 to present this to you, it's costing you $0 to watch it. It's a pretty good deal. Why don't we do this? You and I, why don't we work together so I can show you how to do this for your clients? I know what you think. What you think is what we all used to think, that, we need to buy leads or we need to cold call. We need to call all these people. Here's what we know. People are not answering the phone. Let me know in comments if you agree with this. People are not answering the phone. Okay, some people have their phone set up that if you're not in their contacts, the phone doesn't even ring. You can call them all you want, and this is why real estate agents are getting depressed. They have to call hundreds of prospects to get someone on the phone. Here's the truth, is your phone call is unwanted, and you know that, and this is why you don't like making the calls. It's depressing, right? You call and you call and you call. You might be buying your leads from Zillow, which, by the way, is just scraped information. Doesn't mean they're looking for a home, and Zillow sells those leads to 5 realtors, 5 lenders, and 5 investors. And when you finally reach that Zillow lead a week from now, and the Zillow lead says to you, hey man, I don't know what you're talking about, it's not like they're lying, they're telling you the truth. How many things have you done on the internet a week ago that if someone called you today, you would say, I have no idea, I don't remember what I did on the internet a week ago. So these old school strategies are not working. Here's how we're going to do this. I show you inexpensive or free ways to generate leads by making really, really good offers to buyers and sellers. So when they respond to your marketing, automation kicks in. Not only have I automated the generation of the lead, I've automated the conversion of the lead. I want you to replace the word follow-up with the word conversion. Imagine if I designed some really good emails and text messages that would go out automatically every time that a lead came in from you. So it doesn't depend on you calling them or them answering the phone, because we know that's like not a thing anymore. How many of you would agree? Smash the like button. Let me know in the comments if you agree it's extremely difficult to get people to answer the phone, and it's getting worse by the day. But this is still what they teach us to do. They teach us to buy leads or generate leads and call them and call them and call them and call them. I want to coach you up on how to generate better leads and then have all the heavy lifting of the conversion done automatically. So these emails and these text messages that go out would have a link to a video where you're basically making a little presentation, just like I'm making a presentation to you right now. I don't know your phone number. I didn't call you, right? You found me on the internet. You found me on Facebook. Now, the fact that you're watching this means that you've been pixeled. Facebook automatically pixels everybody that watches my stuff. I want to teach you how to do this. So how many of you've watched my stuff before, and then all of a sudden you're like, I see Craig all the time. Now, here's why this is good. How many of you feel like, because you've been watching a bunch of my stuff now, you kind of feel like you know me a little bit? Let me know if that's true. You kind of feel like, well, I kind of get to know his personality. I feel like maybe Craig knows his stuff. This is what you and I are trying to build with our clients, right? We're trying to build awareness. People have to know you, obviously, before they can do business with you. We're trying to create awareness. We're trying to build credibility and trust. This is what I'm doing here with you, but this is what you can do with your marketplace. You know, when we start in real estate, we always start off with our sphere of influence, right? So the people, our family, our friends, our past clients. I want you to think about this. Your sphere of influence can be much bigger because of social media. Right now, this video will be watched by thousands and thousands of real estate agents. So when this is done, I could take this presentation and I can send this out to all of the real estate agents that have ever watched Craig Proctor's Facebook Lives over the last couple years. But you can do this too. So we can have you create good content, right? And then we can push it out to everyone in your city that starts to watch your stuff. And eventually, here's what happens. They get to know you, they get to like you, they trust you, and guess what happens? If you're making good offers, they call you. No more calling them. Let's do this. Let's play a game here today. And let me know if you like this, guys. If this is making sense, let me know in the comments, like, what do you think of this stuff? Is this better than anything you've ever heard from whatever the company is telling you to do? Or this is how we make money here. Okay, we've got to have really good offers. We've got to have automation. We've got to pretend that the phone doesn't exist. There's no calling them because they're not answering the phone. The marketing and the offers have to be so good that we get the buyers and sellers calling you. You have no problem in those situations, right? You don't have any problem when somebody calls you. You're going to answer the phone. The problem is they won't answer the phone. But if we could get buyers and sellers, good buyers and sellers, calling you saying, hey, come and get me. I'm ready to list my house, or I want to buy a house. You would have no problem. You see, what you've got here is a marketing issue. Do you ever wonder why, like probably in your town, think of like a hole-in-the-wall restaurant where it's somewhere the local people know about. It's a hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and the food is amazing, and the service is amazing, and all of a sudden you're surprised that that place goes out of business. And you're like, why? It's got such amazing food and good service. Meanwhile, in your city, there are other restaurants where the food isn't as good and the service isn't good, but they stay in business. It's because of marketing. See, here's what you and I believe. When we get into real estate, we believe, well, if I'm a really good agent, which you are, and I try hard and I'm ethical, that should be enough. It's not. There's a lot of really great, honest, hardworking real estate agents that are failing in this business, not because they're not technically good. They are good. The problem is nobody knows about them. Nobody knows about their offer. Nobody knows all the ways they can help them. This is what Craig Proctor Marketing does. Now, the great thing about this is all of this is trackable. Okay, so it costs you $0. All you have to decide today is, you know what? I want to change the way I do this. Everything starts with a decision here. See, my real focus on this training here is to get you to change your paradigm. You know what a paradigm is? A paradigm controls the way you think and the way you look at things. And if you've been taught to think about real estate in a certain way, then that's what you're doing. But it's getting you the results that you don't want. If you want better results, you've got to first change how you think about real estate. If you spend enough time with me, I promise you this is what would happen. You would never continue to do what you're doing right now. What you're doing right now would become an unacceptable behavior. Why? Because I would replace what you're doing now with things that work far, far better. Let's switch gears now. I want to talk about offers that you can make to home sellers. And by the way, many of you are part of my private Facebook group. If you would like to be part of my private Facebook group, just type into comments, private group. It's no cost, no fee or anything like that. But there's 7,000 top agents that are inside of Craig Proctor's private Facebook group. It's called Rich Agent Secrets, where we basically share how to get rich. What are the secrets to do this? You're going to be able to mix with top Craig Proctor members. Now, why would I want you to do that? It's kind of self-serving for me, right? If I get you rubbing shoulders and talking to hundreds of real estate agents that are making high 6 figures and 7 figures using the Craig Proctor system, eventually you're going to like, all these people are doing it. They're no different than me. If they can do it, I can do it. That's what you have to understand. Everything you want to do in real estate has already been done by myself and Craig Proctor members. Think about what I said. If you caught the early part of this, I go from getting my real estate license to the #1 RE/MAX agent in the entire world in 3 years. How is that even possible? How in 36 months do I go from as dumb as a pile of rocks? I had never sold anything in my life. I had no money. When I started in real estate, I was living in my parents' basement. I had no money. I had a high school diploma, didn't finish college or university. I tried. I didn't make it. So what do? I get my real estate license. Like many of you, it's like I tried this and that. What am I going to do? The only reason I got into real estate is because my father was a real estate agent. Even my father told me not to do it. He's like, son, you failed at a lot of things. Just save your money. Real estate is hard. What chance do you really have? You have never sold anything in your life. You don't have any money. You don't know anything about marketing. But, like a lot of young guys, I did the opposite of what my dad told me to do. Now, my dad was very supportive and he helped me, but my dad did the best he could. See, my dad was a real estate agent for 20 years at the time I got into real estate. So what do you think my dad told me to do? My dad told me to go out and door knock and call for sale by owners and expired listings and sit in open houses and do floor time. It's not that he didn't want me to succeed. Believe me, he wanted to get me out of the basement of their house. It's just he did the best he could with what he knew. And I'm sure the people around you, that's what they did, right? Your broker owner, your friends in real estate, they did the best they could with what they knew. But if you're not getting the results that you want, why wouldn't you want to learn from someone like me that's made millions and millions and millions of dollars every year selling real estate? See, I didn't become just the top RE/MAX agent in the world once. I kept doing it over and over and over. That's why I got into coaching and training other real estate agents. I was riding 2 horses at the same time. I'm selling over 600 homes a year, and I'm coaching thousands of real estate agents at the same time. The other coaches out there, go find me another coach that has made millions of dollars a year doing what they're teaching you. They don't exist. Look, enough about me. Let's get back to how you're going to target sellers. I see real estate agents with these ads directed at sellers that say things like, would you like a free CMA? They don't, the sellers don't even know what that is, a free CMA. Comparative market analysis. Why don't we just say, do you want to find out what your home is worth? But the problem is the sellers can find out what the homes on their street have sold for on the internet. So if your big offer to a home seller is, I'm going to tell you what the homes in your neighborhood are selling for, they don't need you for that. What else do you have for sellers? What is your offer? Why should I choose to list my home with you versus all other options, including maybe selling it on my own? How are you going to get in the door? There are home sellers that are about to come on the market in your area. But are they going to call you? Do they know who you are? What offer are you making them? So let me give you a couple of ideas on this and see if you like these. How many of you would agree that if you could get to the seller's house, once you get to the seller's home, one of the things that you would do is you would look around their house and you would give the seller some ideas, some tips on what they could do to sell their home for more money. Would you guys agree? Let me know in the comments if that's something you do anyway. Right? You get to their house, you look around, and you might say, there's some inexpensive things, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, that you could do to increase the sale of your home. What would those things be? Well, maybe neutralize the paint color. Okay, maybe you want to do that. Maybe move some of the furniture around. Maybe clean the carpets or replace the carpets. Maybe do a little bit of landscaping. How many of you would agree that you've got that expertise? That's something you do anyway, and you're pretty good at it. So what if part of your offer to get in the door, because that's what you do once you're there, but your problem is you don't have enough of those appointments. So what if we said this? What if we said in our advertising, hey, home sellers, I could show you how to sell your home for $6,000 to $8,000 more by sharing with you powerful but inexpensive tips on how to prepare your home for sale. Plus, now here's the next thing you're going to say. Plus, I can help you go through a net sheet so we can discover all the other associated costs with selling your home, and you would know, after I look at the house, exactly what you're going to net in your pocket after all the associated expenses. Boom! How many of you like that? That's not something the seller can find on the internet. That's not something the other agents are offering. You're going to do this anyway. This is what you do. When you go to their house, you look at their house, you say, you should do this and this and this. And by the way, let's go through a net sheet. This is what you're going to net in your pocket. We have to differentiate ourselves. Folks, hang with Craig Proctor. I will show you the offers, the language that should go out. Now, if you do these things, what happens is for $0, you have leads coming in. Let me ask you this. We can't call them on the phone, though. This is why you need Craig Proctor Marketing, because now we've got the emails and we've got the text messages, the special wording in the offers, and the links to the videos that gets the prospect. They basically now know who you are and what you're about and what you're offering, right? We've got to educate them on you so they call you. You can't call them. You're trying. I'm going to ask this question again. How many of you agree or disagree that it's really hard to get people on the phone? Let me know in the comments. Is this a real thing? Is this an issue that you're having? If it is, let's solve the problem by automating the conversion. Step number one is we make a good offer to get the buyers and sellers to raise their hand. Step number two is the automated emails and text messages that link to videos where you're making a presentation. Now you might say, well, I don't know what to say on the video. This is where I coach you up on it, right? I'm creating a lot of value for you right now. You're still watching this. We're like a half an hour into this thing. When's the last time you watched something like this for a half an hour? Why? Because you like it. It's good. I want to teach you how to do that. People will watch clients will watch your stuff. Prospects, buyers, and sellers will watch what's interesting to them. So we show you how to offer what is of interest to them. Now, a lot of you are like, I don't like how I look on video, or I don't like how I sound. We got to get over that, right? This is how you show up at their house anyway. Well, I look old. Well, that's how you show up when you go list their house. I look fat. Well, that's how you look when you show up at their house. We have to set that aside, right? Wouldn't you rather be old, fat, and rich? So hang with Craig Proctor here. Let's get the market. The leads are there, guys. The transactions are happening. I hear from agents all the time, oh, there's nothing going on in my market. It's really slowed down. Go check your MLS. Houses are selling. They're just not contacting you because you don't have the right offer. Offer buyers and sellers something they really, really want and make it easy and non-threatening for them to raise their hand. Let's stop calling them. Let's stop trying to call them on the phone. They don't want your phone call. Okay, they don't want it. Your call is unwanted. Let's give them the information that they need so they can make a good decision. Do you know that it used to be that the decision on who the agent was going to be was made at the kitchen table? That's not true today. The decision on the agent is made online. Are you winning that battle? Right? If I Google you, if I respond to your marketing, are you educating me so I know everything about you and I understand what makes you different and better? So when you get to the kitchen table, it's just to do the paperwork. The selling of you, the explaining what you do and what makes you different and what makes you better, that's all done by video. Right now, I gave you a great presentation. I didn't talk to you on the phone. I didn't have to call you up and, hey, let's get together at your kitchen table. I didn't have to do all that to tell you what makes me different, what makes me better than the other coaches. Same deal here. So look, if you're interested in this, I want you to book a call with my team and I. If someone could type in to the link into the comments below, proctorcall.com. So my name, Proctor Call, no space, proctorcall.com. You can book a one-on-one time, and we can discuss what you're doing now. It's free of charge, no big sales pitch. We just want to show you what we do, and we would give you some ideas on how we would change your approach. You're either going to like that approach and go, oh my God, this makes so much sense. Yes, I would like to know, how do I get involved with this? Or you would say, it's not for me. I don't want to work with people that don't want to work with me. If people don't get this, and I certainly don't want failures in my program. So if you're the type of agent, it's like, you know what, even if this is a good idea, even if this makes sense, I'm just the type of person, I'm not going to do anything anyway. Yeah, don't book a call. This is for doers. Okay, right now, if you're watching this, it tells me something about you. You've got a spark inside of you, right? You desperately want to learn from somebody that's figured this out. You don't have to have a creative bone in your body. Everything that you want to do in real estate has already been done by me and thousands of Craig Proctor members. So I'm sitting at the kitchen table with my daughter, and I'm going through all these points of what I want to share with you guys today. Let's make sure that I've got the points down. So first point was start with a good offer. I want you to look at your offer. If your offer sucks, your marketing is not going to work. Offer a service, not a house. What's the problem with advertising a house? You advertise a 3-bedroom and they don't call you because they want a 4-bedroom. You know what it's like. You get a sign call or an ad call. What is it? Like 90% of the buyers that call you about your listing eliminate the property. They tell you it's too big, it's too small, it's in the wrong location, blah, blah, blah. I don't like the color of the shingles. You're advertising a product, but every real estate agent is advertising a product, and the product is available on the internet. So they don't need you to find out about the house. The house is easy to eliminate. Offer a service. Here's my service. It's called my VIP Home Finder service. I can get you access to all the homes that are publicly available, and I can also get you access to the homes that are not on the market yet. Pre-listings. Okay, they're not available yet. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, you would literally be the only buyer that knows about this. I'm sorry, there's no link to send you. I can't send you pictures. There's no for sale sign on the property. The house is not in showable condition. This house is not even for sale yet. You tell me what you're looking for, and I'm going to go find it. Now, when you find them the home, boom, you double in there, and now they're ready to list their home. This is how we do it. Next, start with free media. Okay, start with the free stuff. How many of you are running 150 ads on Facebook Marketplace? How many of you aren't doing any ads on Facebook Marketplace? It costs you $0. So all this idea about, well, it's expensive and I how much will this cost? It costs you $0. I'm giving you the ideas. I'm saying go to Facebook Marketplace, $0, start doing it. Automate your follow-up. Phone calls are dead. Automate your follow-up. You can keep calling them all you want. You're going to get depressed. Your head's going to get lower and lower to the desk, calling 100 people to get a hold of 3 or 4. And then what are you saying to them anyway? Well, I'd like to come to your house, your kitchen table to tell you what I do. Completely unnecessary. I'm telling you what I do right now on video. You can do this. Are you getting this? We don't need to call 100 people to get someone on the phone just to ask them if we can come to their kitchen table to tell them how good we are. Why don't we just tell them how good we are? And they will call you in much larger numbers. Now, you can start this off easy. If your CRM doesn't do this, you're going to use MailChimp and simple texting. That's what you're going to use. It's about $20 a month. And once we have your emails designed and your text messages designed, and they work in concert, so they're going to get an email from you, they're going to get a text, and we're going to have links to videos where the video does the selling for you. How good is that? You do it once, and the automation does the selling. The attraction and the conversion are done, and the result is, you ready for this? Your phone, you're going to need to answer that, because buyers and sellers are going to call you or they're going to text you saying, come and get me. This is how you get rich in real estate. How do you think I sold 500 to 600 homes a year within the first 36 months of having my license? Here's the crazy thing about this. Most of you are working way harder than I was working, but for lesser results. This is how the top Craig Proctor members are doing it. Do you know that I have Craig Proctor members making over $1 million a month? Not a year, a month. Think about this. This will stretch your paradigm. I want you to think about what you make in a year. Your GCI, your gross commission income. For some of you, it is gross, right? Because and the net's even grosser. But think about what you make in a year. Imagine if I could show you how to turn your annual income into your monthly income. It stretches your paradigm, does. Oh, that'd never happen. You don't understand my marketplace. Look, this is the old paradigm, right? Dragging you back. All the reasons why this is not possible. This is what I do. I show agents how to turn their annual income into their monthly income. Okay, now you're going to use multiple media, okay, including direct mail. Now, the thing we haven't talked about yet is the videos. So the leads come in with these offers. You're running them for $0 on Facebook Marketplace. You might want to try some direct mail as well, because we want to be in different places. Now, when the automation kicks in and they're getting your emails and they're getting your text messages, I want you to think about this. The video that I help you create, what is it going to be hosted on? Are we going to host that video like on a landing page, or are we going to host that on Facebook? What we're going to do is we're going to record that video of you explaining to the buyers and sellers like what you got, what makes you different. You're going to educate them on video, but that video will be hosted on Facebook, just like this video is. So imagine, I show you, here are the talking points. You're going to say this, this, and this, and this, right? You go on, you do it. Maybe you have to do it like 4 or 5 times to get it right, but you've got it done. Now, we take that link. It's on Facebook. You guys know how to copy the link of your Facebook video, and that's the link we're going to use in your email and in your text message. Now, why are we doing it that way? Because when the prospect clicks on your video, they get the email you send or the text, and they click on the video, and they start to watch your video. Do you know what happens? Let me know in the comments if you know what happens. What happens is they're immediately pixeled by Facebook. That means you've got them, and that means you can start to send them more of your content for almost $0, like a penny a piece. So all of these buyers and sellers that are receiving, they've responded to your marketing, they're receiving your emails and text messages, they're clicking on a link, they're going to your video, and they're indoctrinated. That's what you're doing. You're saying, here's what I got, here's how I'm different, here's how I'm better, and by the way, it's easier to be different than it is to be better. I wasn't better when I got my license 36 months later, #1 RE/MAX agent in the world. I certainly wasn't better. I was different. This is what we're going to do for you. Now, they watch the video. Facebook automatically pixels them. So now we're building a secret database, okay, of pixel prospects. So now you can send them the next video. What do you think is going to happen to you guys tomorrow? You're going to see another Craig Proctor video, right? I'm in your phone. Right? You didn't answer your phone. I didn't call you, but I'm inside your phone on social media. If you go to YouTube, you're going to find this here. If you go to LinkedIn, you're going to find it there. If you go to my private Facebook group, and again, if you want to be in my private Facebook group, type in private group in the comments. And if you haven't checked in with us already, let us know the city and state you operate. I have so many realtors every week saying, hey, I need an agent in Pittsburgh. Who do you got? We don't have anybody. Don't be shy about this. What's the downside? Let us know. Throw in your contact information, who you are, what marketplace you serve. We'll see if we can get you some business just from tuning in. Okay, so that was my next note here is the video is hosted on Facebook for pixeling. My daughter's in, she got neat handwriting there. Okay? Neat printer. My marketing has tracking. Okay, my marketing has tracking, so you're going to know your return on investment. That's the problem with a lot of your marketing. You're like, you don't know what works, you don't know what doesn't work, and so you waste your money on a whole bunch of crap that doesn't result in closings, right? We're going to know everything that's working here. You're going to know what ad works the best, what emails work the best, what text messages work the best, which videos. Does that make sense? Nobody else does this. Nobody else could teach you this. Okay, now, when all this is working, remember our topic today is how to dominate your marketplace. Guess what happens? When all this starts to work, then you scale up until you can't do it anymore. So right now you're a solo agent, maybe you have a team right now, but I'm going to show you how to get busier and busier and busier until you say, I can't do it. Great, now we're going to build the team. A lot of these idiots are telling you to go out and hire people as if that's going to build your business. Could you imagine you own a jewelry store and no one's coming in the jewelry store and you say to your partner at the jewelry store, oh, we need to hire more people. So now you got more people standing around doing nothing. No. The people only come after the process, after the system kicks in, and you've got an overflow of buyers and sellers. We're to the point like I'm working 80 hours a week and I can't even service all the buyers and sellers. I'm going to next show you how do we recruit them? How do we have a marketing system in play where we attract the right kind of agents? Why are they coming to work with you? Because you got what they want, which is listing appointments and buyer appointments. So many of them, you can't even go out to them all. That's why they come and they work with you. Now, eventually, you start to replace yourself with others. You can't do it all, so I teach you, well, here's who to hire first, here's who to hire second, here's how to hire third. We don't go crazy, we don't run out and hire 10 people. We replace one at a time. Now, pretty soon, you've replaced you. And now, you have a business. That's what I created. A machine that sold 500 to 600 homes every single year, and it didn't require my presence. That's called a business. What you guys have is a job. And I'll tell you what, you get sick of a job. You get sick of working 60, 70 hours a week, so you need to fix this. My business was so figured out that even though my business was in Toronto, Canada, I lived in Sarasota, Florida. I lived on an island, and my business is up north in Toronto, kicking out 500 to 600 homes a year because it was a business, and a business runs separately of you. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't manage it, like call the people or whatever, but I wasn't inside of it. I wasn't working with buyers or sellers or making phone calls or doing any of that. How many of you want this? What if even half of what I'm saying is true? Well, let's just say half of this is BS. Just throw it out the window. If half of what I'm saying is true, would this benefit you? What if it's all true? What if everything we're talking about here is what we do here in Craig Proctor Nation? We coach you up and we show you how to do it, and you get to stand on the shoulders of giants. Where are you getting your information on how you're doing what you're doing? Whatever you're doing right now, you've copied it, right? You got into the business. You didn't figure this out, whether you're knocking on doors or doing open houses, chasing FSBOs expireds. You didn't invent it. You copied this from somebody. All I'm saying is, why don't you copy a better model? Okay, just copy a better model. How many buyers could you work with if it had nothing to do with you? How many buyers and how many sellers could you work with if it had nothing to do with you? A lot, right? I want you to start having that mindset because that's the mindset of a business owner, right? Right now, you have a job as a real estate agent. It's not a good job. That's why you're here watching me. You're like, there's got to be a better way to do this. Folks, I am a truth teller here. Believe me, there's a lot of garbage that's being taught to real estate agents by people that are not qualified. Anybody today that can even spell the word coach calls himself a coach, especially with social media. They're everywhere. Everyone's an expert. Everyone's a coach. Everyone's trying to sell you leads that you can't reach on the phone anyway. And you're tired of it, right? You're frustrated. And you're like hoping you find someone like me that's actually made millions of dollars selling real estate and has a track record of teaching thousands of other agents how to make millions of dollars. You're still watching this for a good reason. We've been on here now for almost 50 minutes, 49 minutes, because this is interesting. Now, when you start to offer things of interest to buyers and sellers in your community, they'll watch you for 49 minutes. They'll want more of it. And when they watch you once, they're going to see you again. They're going to see you again. And they're going to understand who you are and what you do and how you're different and how you're better. And you're going to build trust and you're going to build credibility. And you don't need to call them. You don't need to chase them, because your sphere of influence with Craig Proctor will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is a numbers game. Think of right now, your sphere of influence is your friends. Why? They know me. They like me. Your past clients. Your job is to get everyone in your city to know you. This is how we do it. So book your call, proctorcall.com. Okay, proctorcall.com. The call is free. Okay, it costs you $0 to do this. Okay, $0. We'll have a conversation, ask you a bunch of questions, and then see if this makes sense. If not, I'm good. I've already made lots of money. Okay, I don't need to be doing this, but I will share with you everything that I've got if you're interested. I want to thank you guys for watching this today. I hope you found it extremely helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments. Make sure that you follow this page, because when I go live, you'll want to see this stuff, right? So make sure you turn on notifications. Make sure if you haven't already smashed the like button, give me a thumbs up, the little blue thumbs up or the heart, let us know. And the more you do that, by the way, the more engagement there is with this video. Do you know the more real estate agents will see it? Let me teach you how to do that, how to get engagement so more people will see your stuff and more people will see it. And this thing grows, it starts off slowly, but it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Right now, I have over 300,000 real estate agents that are pixeled, that have watched Craig Proctor's stuff. So if I want to send this out to all 300,000 agents later today or tomorrow, I can do that with a press of a button. But so can you. Let's get you on board. Craig Proctor Nation. Get on the Craig Proctor train. Book your call right now. proctorcall.com. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you know of anyone that would benefit from this, your broker or other agents, feel free to share this, the share button, or you can at them. Let's get the word out. There's a better way to sell real estate so you have more money, but more time and more freedom in your life. Thank you very much for watching. This is Real Estate Coach Craig Proctor. This is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are two important things, and both are totally free. Number one is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.